The Pentagon's recent confirmation that President Biden's temporary Gaza port project is a complete failure highlights a profound lack of foresight and the pitfalls of succumbing to idealistic pressure from within the Democratic Party. Announced with great fanfare to appease pro-Hamas factions, the $320 million floating port has quickly turned into a logistical and humanitarian disaster. This ill-conceived initiative was rooted in naive idealism, ignoring the harsh realities of dealing with a terrorist organization like Hamas. As the reality of this misguided endeavor now dawns, it serves as a stark reminder of the administration's misplaced priorities and strategic miscalculations. Welcome to TFI Global, the antidote to mass delusion. It didn't take long for the Pentagon to virtually confirm that the temporary Gaza port initiated by President Biden is proving to be a complete failure. This revelation emerged during a Tuesday press briefing where General Patrick S. Ryder, the Pentagon's spokesperson, informed reporters that none of the 569 metric tons of food and supplies delivered to Hamas-controlled Gaza through the port has been distributed to Gaza residents by non-governmental organizations. The $320 million floating port constructed by the U.S. military was announced earlier this year during Biden's State of the Union address, ostensibly to appease the pro-Hamas faction within the Democrat Party base. Pentagon Deputy Press Secretary Sabrina Singh had told reporters that the cost includes the transportation and construction of the equipment and pipe sections from the U.S. to the coast of Gaza. It also includes the cost of aid delivery operations. The entire system is called Joint Logistics Over the Shore, or JLOTS. The Pentagon expected deliveries to begin at about 90 trucks a day and then quickly scale up to 150 trucks a day. Since the port's completion last Thursday, there have been significant issues. According to General Ryder's remarks reported by the New York Post, some trucks operated by non-governmental organizations tasked with delivering the aid to another staging area had been ransacked by looters. The Associated Press also noted that only 5 of the 16 trucks operated by the United Nations World Food Programme reached their intended destinations during aid delivery runs on Saturday. The remaining 11 trucks were commandeered by a Palestinian mob, according to UNWFP officials. It is important to recall that Hamas launched a brutal attack on Israel on October 7th, resulting in over 1,200 civilian deaths. This Iranian-backed terrorist group has since tried to portray itself as the victim of an unwarranted military response from Israel, often inflating casualty figures that legacy media outlets have uncritically accepted. From its inception, Biden's port project was doomed to fail. The proponents of this initiative naively assumed that Hamas would allow external aid to reach Gaza residents, a significant majority of whom support Hamas and its October 7 attack on Israel. Contrary to the image promoted by groups like Queers for Palestine, Hamas is a violent terrorist organization that has committed horrific acts against Israelis and other innocent civilians for decades. Expecting Hamas to permit food and other supplies to reach the needy is as unrealistic as believing Biden has the cognitive ability to effectively govern the country. Biden's decision to build a floating port off Gaza's coast also recklessly endangers innocent lives, including those of U.S. service members. Just last month, an unidentified terrorist group in the region fired on UN officials during the buy site. Although no injuries were reported, the incident underscores the heightened risk to Western officials in the area. A prudent president would recognize the harsh realities on the ground and immediately withdraw U.S. forces from the region to prevent further casualties. Unfortunately, the Biden administration's foreign policy ineptitude has a track record of unnecessary U.S. military deaths. This latest fiasco with the Gaza port not only exemplifies the administration's detachment from on-the-ground realities, but also highlights its dangerous gamble with American lives. Continuing this doomed venture serves no one's interests and only underscores the administration's persistent missteps in foreign policy. It's high time for a strategic reassessment to prevent further needless loss of life.